Hello, Divine Feminines, and this is a message for you. Specifically, this is not necessarily a tarot reading, but I do have some tarot cards here laid out from a spread that I did that I'm not going to post as of yet. I believe we got, a bit of information that we should let sink in and catch up on before I post this reading. It's about 30 minutes, but I'm coming back after it to give a warning to some of the divine feminines that may very well be aware that this is going on, because this is something that's been going on. It's for divine feminines who are still involved with karmic relationships, whether this has been for a while, even before you met the divine masculine karmic relationship, or any karmic relationship that you're in, or that if you're single. There's divine feminines out here who have been stuck in their situation, why they can't get out of this ditch in their twin flame journeys, because you're still holding on to a relationship. You're still holding on to something where you'd be settling. Whereas, for an example, you would be the Empress and someone is the Emperor. I guess the next best thing if you're not, the High Priestess and the Hierophant. All of these cards are still here. I kept the highlighted cards in this reading. You'll see how it all came about. Okay, Spirit was talking. Okay, so we'll post that reading, but this is the highlight, and I want to talk about this for you. Is if you're holding on to a karmic situation, whether it's a past one, it's a new one, you're not in a relationship, but you're still chatting with them in hopes that, it'll just pass the time of you being single and not being with where you actually reside, you're still a karmic partner, nonetheless. You're in karma with a karmic partner, and the terrible part about it is this is what the relationship will look like. This is you and your karmic partner. This is your relationship now, if you're in one with a karmic partner. And the bad part about it was all of these three cards came out exactly in this order. Yeah, they came out exactly in this order. Again, I'll post the video, but right now we're just highlighting it. It came out like that. And then after that, I was like, what the hell? Like, what is this about? I don't get that. And then it was this. So I put it in like an order. And then, the Two of Pentacles, lots came out. Again, I'll post that video. Oh, yeah, that came out with the Queen of Wands. But, it looks like a lot of us are doing a multitude of things, first of all, where we're feeling like we want to eat our, have our cake and eat it too kind of thing. And it's not possible. Not in a twin flame journey. Not when you're, not when you're, you have the High Priestess involved. Okay, especially not when you're in a karmic situation. What I have to say is, taking anything from anywhere that may not have served you in the first place to go and benefit and to go and, apply in this situation, we just look at that as fools. High Priestess and Hierophants will look at you as a fool. You know what I mean? You're not divine feminine. You're not actually taking anything beneficial from your karmic relationship into this relationship. What kind of, why would you think a divine partner speaks karma, speaks karmic? Does that make sense to you? You're coming from a karmic situation and you're feeling like any kind of boost of confidence, any kind of knowledge or anything you can take from someone else and bring it in and try to help, move along your divine journey. I think some of us feel like we're lacking things that we didn't understand and learn from another relationship where we can apply it to that relationship, to this relationship. That sounds great, but these are two different people. These are two different people, individually, two different couples. There's nothing that these people can teach these people. This is the ultimate being here. These people aspire to be these. Especially when we're putting it in a karmic situation. These people rule the world. They're on the world, and these are in a realm. They get consumed by the devil, by Lucifer himself, in a way where they actually start, going and killing their own people and harming themselves and harming others. Whereas I'm not trying to say sin is, not equal. It's all equal, but we just get confused and conflicted in our conscious mind and may or may not relay a certain message. What I'm trying to say here is, why would you think that any kind of information you learn from a karmic situation is going to better your situation with, your divine masculine or your divine feminine, whereas you feel like you're going to have to actually take things from what you've learned there and bring it here. Hello? There is nothing that the Empress and the Emperor can teach the High Priestess and the Hierophant. Okay? Think of them as these people down here. They're the ones kneeling for help. There's nothing that they can teach. I don't understand why you feel like, talking to someone, making them a rebound or making them second choice or making them just someone to pass the time is ever going to help you get out of karmic cycles. The High Priestess and the Hierophant do not understand karmic terms. They understand each other. They understand their language, and they understand their language. There's none of this. You know what I mean? There's no, you can't, so for the divine feminine who's here trying to have her cake and eat it too, you realize that you're just making it worse for yourself. You realize that you're prolonging your journey. You realize that you're not learning anything. You're still very much confused into thinking that you can have your cake and eat it too in a journey where you're supposed to be shedding constantly. This Two of Cups signified the Emperor and the Empress. You'll see, because when I clarified it, that's what came out in that exact order. Okay? And when these three came out together, it means that you're dampening, you're putting toxicity into this relationship, into this journey. You're delaying the process by bringing in any kind of BS from any kind of karmic relationship, whereas you felt like you conquered something. And what did you conquer in a karmic relationship except learn? And then when you learn, you settle that karmic debt. Why would you have anything left to bring into something so pure? Why would you have anything to bring from someone else somewhere else? What do this is not a lesson learned. This is someone who doesn't give a rat's ass about who he hurts, what he does for himself. He doesn't care how he looks. He's in broad day, committing crimes. And because I think this person who's doing this really believes that it's going to help you. It's going to help you do something. I believe the people who are doing this, I'm really calling to the people who are so naive into thinking that whatever you get from over there is going to help you in this divine journey. In this divine relationship. There is nothing that you learned from your karmic relationships that are going to help you in this aspect and over there. There's nothing you can teach. Do you understand? It's like, yes, I learned to be more patient. I learned to be more kind. Fine. So when you speak with your divine masculine, you know to be patient. You know to be kind. With the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, there's a lot of abrupt and hastiness. There's nothing positive about this card. Sometimes you're supposed to tell white lies to save people's feelings. This person doesn't even care. That Two of Swords left behind is the person that they feel like they're always going to keep coming back to, because right now they can't seem to get where they need to be. They can't seem to be who they need to be. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of cards missing here. Again, I'll upload that video at some point so you can see how this all unfolded. There's a lot in between. But when these came out together, I just got so pissed. I was like, what is this supposed to mean? They literally all came out together. These came out, and then this one was just another one. All three in the shuffle. Just in that order. I think the High Priestess came first. Okay. I'm like, what mascot is bringing in this problems and all of these unwanted ass bones and swords and dust and baggage into these people's realm? I mean, who is doing that? It was a reading for the Divine Feminine, obviously. It was a reading that I was doing for the Divine Feminine. So I'll post it. But it's like the Divine Feminine feels like she's working so much for something, like she's supposed to be some mediator, between two relationships where there's only supposed to be one that you're worried about. If you feel like there's karmic debt that you haven't solved here, please do solve that karmic debt and do what you got to do to put to rest that karma. If they were labeled a karmic partner, we know that we have to break up, right? What are you doing having that and this around? It's like you're bringing in all kinds of rottenness into this. No wonder why you can't get there. And then you settle for where you are because you can't seem to get to where you got to be because you're not willing to put to death something that needs to be ended. Karma. And then it's so ugly. And then after I did those three, and this was along with the High Priestess and Hierophant, then this came out. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And then these two guys came out. And I was like, you know what? The Emperor's here. And I kept seeing the Empress in the shuffle. We talked about it in the video I'm going to upload too. I'm like, the Empress is somebody who really wants to speak. And then the Emperor came out. And then right after the Emperor, then the Empress came out. I'm like, yeah, it's because there's a relationship here that the Divine Feminine is still half a part of. The Divine Feminine wants to still be a part of another relationship for multiple reasons, but for the one that I'm going to put out on the table is because you want to be able to settle and eat, have your cake and eat it too, just in case this doesn't work out. You'll have somebody else. But then it's like, okay, then stick with that person. Why are you taking whatever from that person and from whatever from that life that you chose into this life? You can't have both. And every time that you go right back to the High Priestess or the Hierophant, whoever you are, you bringing in karma to that relationship, and you just get further and further and further away from any reunion because you're still holding on to karma. Not necessarily just one person, but you're holding on to something that either you have to choose. And that's also the Two of Pentacles that was here that came out with, I believe, the Two of Cups. You have to choose, and you have to pick a path. There's no, there's no in between, because that's what it looks like. Some little petty ass relationship in the middle of a couple of major arcanas, and this is what your karmic partner, this is what your karmic relationship looks like, and this is what you do to it, this is how you treat it. And it looks so minuscule. I hate to belittle your relationship, but because we're between a High Priestess and a Hierophant and an Empress and an Emperor. Do you understand? This is for those who feel like they're battling two relationships and think that they're going to get out on top. You're not. Look at you. You're taking from whatever relationship, whatever friendship you have right now, whatever you had, whatever you're doing, and bringing it into, because it's like, really, I actually really just want my Hierophant. I really want my High Priestess. I really. So what are you doing? So I think I made myself clear. Okay. I think I made myself clear with that Queen of Swords. I think I made myself very clear here into what the Divine Feminine is actually doing. Divine partners do not speak karma. Only when you're in a karmic state. These guys are untouchable. Even if it's you, look at yourself in the mirror, but you guys are untouchable. Does that make sense? You're bringing in karmic debt, things you've learned. Oh, like, he gave you some boost of confidence. Someone told you you're really pretty because, the Divine Masculine didn't tell you today and no one else did. So you got that. And then you're like, hey, babe, da-da-da-da, to your Divine Masculine if you're in contact or whatever. Take that how it applies. You understand what I'm saying? But did anybody, your Divine Masculine don't speak karma. He's already in a karmic situation. If you're already in a karmic situation, when you're these people, you'll know when you're on common ground. You'll know when you're here. Does that make sense? But like you have, the Divine Feminine is acting as a karmic partner because she's still hanging on to something else, and that's where she's getting all of her confidence to come talk to the Divine Feminine or the Divine Masculine. How is she going to speak to him? She ain't. She going to get on her knees. That's the only way she can come. That's the only way she's coming. Okay? We'll do it vice versa. How he's going to speak to her? He has to be one of her prodigies. He has to be one of the people, and she may or may not choose him either. She knows the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine are of the subconscious mind. What don't we understand about that? What can this person, Divine Feminine, do? Except ruin that. You're bringing in, do you think that the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine want any of that you got going on there? And they can still see those two swords you left behind. We know what that's about. All right. So get that. Understand that. Find one of the minutes in the video where you understand in which way I interpreted that. The Magician here, really, I shouldn't be opening up the deck. I just need somebody to really understand that. I'll post that video where it explains all of this soon, one of these days. But please understand that you're not helping your situation. Pick a path in a journey. If you lose both right now, you lose both. Get your sanity in check and understand which way you want to go. Don't settle. Okay? Thanks. Bye.